Hey guys, it's Tanya here. So we're trying a little bit of a different setup for tutorials. So tell me how you like this in the down bar below. So I'm basically going to do a full face of makeup quickly for you guys because I'm going shopping with a friend. So I just want to get this done before I go, and I figured I might as well film it. So we're going to start. This is me with absolutely no makeup on my face. My only real skin issues, I have like really red pigmentation issues. As you can see on my cheeks, they're very rosy. So we're going to start with concealer. Now you can do concealer either on top or below your foundation. It doesn't actually make a difference. It's just kind of personal preference. This is your Best Friend Cosmetics, if you guys can see that, and it comes in like 3 shades. And basically I'm just going to apply this underneath my eyes just to kind of cancel out some of the darkness. I use the lightest 2 shades, this little like light pink one over here, and then the more yellowy one in the middle. I don't use the darkest shade on my face because I'm pretty porcelain. And that would just be too dark for me. So there you go. So once you've canceled out the dark circles underneath your eyes, my next step is my Makeup Forever HD foundation. It looks like this, and I use color number 117. I'm just going to put 2 pumps of that on my hand. That's more than enough foundation, if you guys can see how much foundation's there, but it's more than enough. And I'm going to take my Sigma F80 Kabuki brush. It looks like that. I think Sigma's Kabuki brush is everybody's favorite foundation brush at this point. I just like how soft it is and how easily it blends out all my makeup. So basically I just dab this all over my face and then I just rub it out to make my skin all look the same kind of tone, and I just get right underneath the eyes, up into the temple and the hairline area, and then onto the neck. Make sure you always bring some like leftover foundation onto your neck. The main reason is your neck is quite white, and so if you don't at least bring some foundation over, you're going to see a real color difference between your neck and your jaw. So you can see that the HD foundation from Makeup Forever does cover a lot of my redness up, but not all of it. So sometimes when I'm really red on my cheek area, I will go back over it with a yellow powder. So for those of you who don't know, yellow cancels out red. So this is just your Best Friend's Neutralizing Pressed Yellow Powder. I also have Smashbox's Halo Yellow Powder, and I do like that one quite a bit. So basically you just take a little bit on the brush. These are brushes I'm actually going to be giving away. They're really pretty colors for summer. And then you just take that over the red spot. So you can like already see this cheek to this cheek how much redder this one is, especially around my nose area. So we're going to cancel out that yellowness. There. So there's my biggest pigmentation issue, is the redness. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply highlight. So this is the MAC High Definition or Extra Dimension Skin Finish in Whisper of Guilt. It's the really pretty gold one. And I'm just going to take a flat like foundation brush. Looks like that. And we're basically going to apply this right into the product and then just tap it on underneath my eye where I want my highlight to go. There we go. So I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but it's just a really subtle, like glittery, sparkly line coming down the sides of the face there. For bronzer today, I'm going to use the Rimmel Natural Bronzer in the color 21 Sunlight, which is a matte bronzer from Rimmel. A little bit of sheen, I would say. Like a very little bit of sheen. No shimmer at all. Really pretty. I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. This is a this is a Sigma. Sigma F50. Swirl it around in there. Now, temple, I say the backwards 3 pattern. So you start at the temple, you go down just below the cheek line, and then down to the jawline. That's how I apply bronzer. I like the way that looks. I think that it defines the face where it needs to be defined. And then sometimes I'll just gently kind of dust over the rest of my face for a little bit of color because I am pretty pale. So for blush, we're going to use the Cargo Blush in Medicino, which is the color that I just got in the kit that I just reviewed, and I'm going to be posting that video up today. So that's what the color looks like. It's a really pretty pink color. And my blush brush is actually starting to split, so I need to wash that and reset it because it's acting funny. So I'm just going to use, I guess I'll use this one again, the purple one. This is the purple one that we used for the yellow powder. This is highly pigmented blush, so I would just recommend like dipping it in just a little and then tapping off the excess. And then if you know where the apples of your cheeks are, of course you don't need to smile, but if you don't, you just smile. You'll find the apples, and then just behind them, and then you blend it into them. You never want to put it like directly on the apples because it actually makes your face look more plump. So again, you start kind of halfway in the apple and then blend it back. And then if you want more color, you just add a little bit more pigment. There. So as you can see, that's just a really nice rosy glow underneath the really pretty shimmery highlight. And let's do some eye makeup. So I'm going to be using all MAC products today, and I'll try and tell you guys the colors that I'm using. So first I'm going to pull up my neutrals palette. It looks like this. I keep going like this because I'm used to showing you guys my swatches like behind me, but because I'm doing it in the mirror image, I got to remember to show you everything forward. So that's the MAC palette. This is all my neutral colors. For the whole eyelid color, I'm going to use... Where's my... There we go. This is just a MAC 212 brush. Looks like that. And I'm just going to use Shroom all over the lid. I didn't apply a primer potion today just because I'm not wearing this makeup for very long. I'm just kind of using it to go out, and I just wanted to put something on my face. So we're going to cover the whole eyelid with Shroom. All the way up to the brow line. All the way into the inner corners. And then you're going to take a, this is my F70. It's actually a concealer brush, but I like it more for packing on pigment. So it looks like that. And I'm going to take Soft Brown by MAC, which is this color right there. And I'm just going to apply that just to the lid of both of my eyes. So this is just going to kind of define your eye shape, and you make sure that you don't get it into the crease because we're going to put a different color into the crease. And you just want to do like one light packing of that. If you can see, it's just a light brown color. Then in the inner corners, we're going to take a small pencil brush, looks like this one. And I'm going to use Crystal Avalanche, which is the really pretty white color up here in the corner. And I'm going to use that for my inner corner highlight. So just a little bit underneath the eye and a little bit going up here. There we go. And on the other side, the same thing. So going up and a little bit coming down. So it will really brighten up the inner corners of your eyes, and you actually need to kind of smudge it out a little bit on the bottom. There we go. Okay, and then on the crease color, we're going to do a little bit of color because we all know how much I love color. So I think I'm going to use, I was going to use a green, but I think I'll go with a pink. So I'm going to probably do a mix of the Louder Please, which is the really bright pink here, and Sushi Flower, which is the one right underneath it. So these two pinks. And you're just going to use a shader brush. So I'm going to use my Sigma F40, or E40, sorry. And I'm just going to mix those two colors and just apply it right in here into the crease. And then the same on the other side, just up and into the crease. Now that one got away on me, didn't it? So let's just smudge that out because I don't like it being all over that part of my eye. There we go. And just smudge this one out a little bit so it's a little bit lighter. So that, you know, gives you a little pop of color, and of course you can smudge it so that it's really like not as bright or in your face. And then of course you're going to add a really nice highlight. I'm going to use Yogurt just underneath my brow bone to fill this in, and also blend that bright pink so that it doesn't, you know, look like there's just a straight line there. I've already done my eyebrows, which totally need to be waxed, and I just used MAC's eyebrow pencil. This is Stubborn Brown and the PowerPoint eye pencil, and I just used a little bit of that to define them a little bit more. And then I'm going to use also some of this Yogurt color on the bottom lash line, just to kind of like define the eye a little bit better. So there we go. So as you can see, I have the soft brown in the lid, and then the Louder Please is probably the more prominent color in the crease, and a little bit of Sushi Flower. Last but not least, I'm going to apply a black eyeliner to my waterline. Now, most of you know I don't really like wearing eyeliner on the top of my eyelid. I'm really kind of weird about it. I prefer just wearing like a black line in my waterline. I find it makes my eyes a little bit bigger for my own personal liking, but also I like that it doesn't smudge throughout the day. I find that if I wear eyeliner on the top, I get horrible smudge lines, which I hate. So if I just apply a waterline of black, it really defines the eye shape for me. The mascara I'm going to be using is the Cargo Triple Action Mascara. And I got this again in that kit. The Cargo kit. And I do like this mascara. It reminds me of Maybelline Falsies mascara, which is one of my favorites. And this one does kind of the same thing. It lengthens. The brush is really nice to use. And I got a little bit of it on my lid. Easy enough to fix. If you get a little bit of mascara on your lid, never panic. Just go back in with the color that is on there and just smudge it out. There we go. And then you can go over it with a soft brush just to kind of blend everything together so it all looks nice and even. And last but not least, for my lips, I'm going to use the Nicole Miller pencil in Soft Peach. And I'm just going to line my lips with that. And fill them in. The great thing about filling in your lips is a good trick. If you think that your lipstick, whatever you're wearing, is going to wear off, and I am going to wear a MAC Supreme or Sheen Supreme lipstick, so these do wear off quite easily, it's really good to line your lips first, because then when that wears off, you'll still have color. So you line the top and you fill them in. There we go. And then you apply your lipstick. This is the Supreme or Sheen Supreme in Blossom Culture. This is just a really pretty corally pink color with light shimmer to it. There we go. So that's basically the look. Pretty easy, very simple to do. Anyone can do this. Nothing super fancy about it. It's just kind of like a nice soft look with a little pop of color. I'm going to add a little more highlight on this side because I don't like the way this one is not sitting. There we go. Alright. See if I can flip around and show you guys. Oh, zoom this out. There we go. So there's the look. Really easy, simple. A little bit of pop of color, the pink in the eye. Nice balance with the lips. I probably need a little more blush, which I will put on before I leave. But thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know how you like this format. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.